In the previous chapter, we have learned how to create the variables and assign the value in the variables. So now we will go ahead and see what are the different operators that exist in JavaScript programming, which we can use in order to manipulate the data. So before we get started, let's have the clarity on these two definitions. What is an operator and what is an operand? An operator is nothing but a symbolic representation that tells the compiler what type of operation it should do, whereas an operand are the data variables that take part in the operation. For example, if you're going to write a statement like C is equal to A plus B, here plus is a symbolic representation which tells the compiler that it needs to add these two values. So it is an operator, whereas A and B are the variable that are participating in that particular operation and they are known as operands. So based on the usage, we classify the operator into one of these different types. So we have arithmetic operators, we have assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, and conditional operators. Let's go ahead and have a look at each of these operators. Arithmetic operators are used to perform the arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So it's a quite simple thing to understand. So the addition operator is represented with the symbol plus, subtraction is represented with the symbol minus, multiply is represented with the symbol asterisk, and divide is represented with the symbol forward slash. So if you're going to write a statement like a plus b, the plus operator tells the compiler that it has to do the addition. Whereas when you're going to say a minus b, it's going to tell the compiler that you need to subtract the value of b from a. So whatever is the operator that we are going to specify, the compiler is going to perform that particular operations. So in addition to these arithmetic operators, we have two different types of arithmetic operators. One is called as an increment operator and other one is decrement operator. So the increment operator, it's represented by the symbolic representation plus plus, whereas the decrement operator, it's represented by the symbolic representation minus minus. So what this operator does is, it is either going to add 1 to itself or it is going to subtract 1 from itself depending upon the type of operator that you use. For instance, let's say I have a variable a with a value 10 in it. Now if I'm going to use this increment operator a plus plus, then what this is going to do is it is going to add 1 to itself. Considering that the value of a is 10, it will add 1 to itself and now the value of variable a will become 11. Whereas if you're going to use an increment operator, let's say the value of b is 5 currently. If I'm going to say b minus minus, then it is going to subtract 1 from itself, which means 5 minus 1 and the value of b is going to be 4 after the decrement operations. So we mostly use this within the loops in order to specify how many loops are left or how many time we need to perform these operations and so on. Then we will move on to the assignment operators. So any programming you take, the data will flow always from the right hand side of the program to that of the left hand side of the program. So for instance, let's go back to the statement here in arithmetic operation. Let's say if I'm going to say a statement variable c is equal to a plus b, what happens here is that here we have two parts of the program. Variable c is a declaration which is happening on the left hand side of the program, and a plus b is an expression that is being provided in the right hand side of the program. So in any program, the data always flows from the right hand side of the program to left hand side of the program. So the compiler will first evaluate the expression that is available in the right hand side, which is a plus b, and then whatever is the result of it, that result will be given to the left variables or data object that exists in the left hand side of the program. So that is what your assignment operator does. So one of the most commonly known assignment operators equal to symbol. So if I'm going to say variable a is equal to 10, then the 10 is the value which is there in the right hand side of the program, which is going to be assigned inside the variable a in the left hand side of the program. In addition to that, we have a different other operators like add and assign, subtract and assign, multiply and assign, and divide and assign. So as the name suggests, what this operator does is, this operator is going to perform the specified operation first, and then it is going to do the assignment action. For example, if I'm going to say for add and assign, if the variable value is 10, and if I'm going to say a plus equal to 20, this is nothing but a shorthand statement of a is equal to a plus 20. So if I was simply going to say a plus is equal to 20, what it is going to do is, now it tells the compiler that it has to assign the value 20 to the variable a. But before you assign it, you perform the addition operation with whatever value that is available in it. So a plus equal to 20, considering that the value of a is equal to 10, what it does is, it will first perform the addition. So 20 plus 10, which becomes 30, and then the value 30 will be assigned to your um, variable a. So the result would be 30. So if I'm going to say like a minus equal to 5, considering the value of a is 10, then it is going to subtract first. So 10 minus 5, 5. So result will be stored as 5 inside your variable. So that's how the assignment operator works. It's going to perform the specified operation before it is going to assign the values. Then we have a bunch of comparison operators. So what this operator does is, this is going to compare the value which is available in one operand with that of the another. So it basically takes two variable and it just compares the value between this. So some of the common comparisons that we do is, we basically make a check whether this particular value is equal to this particular variable value. So you have this equivalent operator which can be represented in two different ways in JavaScript, by either using a double equal to symbol or by using this triple equal to symbol. But the recommended approach is that use this triple equal to symbol, since there is no concept of predefined data type in JavaScript. The triple equal to symbol, it will not just compare the value, it will also compare the underlying data type as well. So it is recommended that we uses this triple equal to operator if you wanted to make a check whether one value is equal to another value. And if you wanted to make a check whether the value is not equal to, then you have a couple of representation as well, which is exclamatory mark equal to or exclamatory mark double equal to. So again, we are going to prefer this exclamatory mark double equal to in order to make a check whether this particular variable is not equal to this particular variable. Then we have a greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, or lesser than or equal to symbol, which the symbolic representation itself justify themselves. It's going to check whether a value is greater than another value, or whether the value is less than the another variable, or whether it's either greater or equal to, or whether it is lesser than or equal to, and so on. So these are the different comparison operators that we have in case of JavaScript. Then moving on, we have different logical operators. So logical operators are used for expressing the logical condition inside your program. Say for example, if you're going to have a multiple checks, like say for example, you wanted to make a check whether a is greater than b and b is greater than c. So only then you wanted to do certain operations. Then you basically have an expression over here whether you have multiple condition, whether all the conditions are satisfied for you, or uh, is like any one of the condition is satisfied, or how we are going to treat this expression. So or operator, what it does is, when you're going to have multiple condition, when any one of the condition is satisfied, the expression is going to give you the value as true. Let's say here on the screen we have a couple of expressions, a greater than b and c greater than d. Now let's say the first expression is satisfied, a is greater than b, which is true, and the second expression, c is lesser than d, is false. So now when you're specifying an or operator, when any one of the condition matches, the framework, it returns the expression value as true. So when you're going to specify multiple expression within the OR operator, the framework only expect that any one of the condition is satisfied to proceed further. Whereas if you're going to specify an AND operation, which is represented by double ampersand symbol in JavaScript, it expects that all the conditions that are specified in the expression are to be true. So as per the examples I have given here, the AND operator would expect A to be greater than B and C to be lesser than D. Only when these two conditions are satisfied, it is going to evaluate the expression as true. Otherwise, it is going to evaluate the expression as false. Whereas we have one more type of operator called as a NOT operator, where what it does is whatever is the result of the operation that that's from or AND expression, it just reverse the result. Say for example, I have given an expression within an OR operator and it gives me the result as true. Then the NOT operator will simply changes that result value as false. So it just basically reverses whatever is the result of your AND or operations. Then we have a special type of operator called as a conditional operators. So which is not just an operator, it's just a syntactic expression that we give in the JavaScript. So generally, when we wanted to do a basic comparison check whether one value is greater than or another, we make use of this if statements to see like whether this value is greater than or equal to this value. If it is greater, we go ahead and do a certain set of action. If it is not greater, we go ahead and do a certain set of other actions. So to evaluate this in a simple expression, we have this conditional operators in JavaScript where you specify the condition within the parentheses. So the JavaScript compiler, it evaluates this expression, and if the expression returns you the value as true, then whatever is the JavaScript logic that you write after the question mark, they get executed. If the specified condition is false, then whatever is the statement that you write after the semicolon symbol gets executed. So that's just a simple conditional operators. So depending upon condition, you either determine like if it is true, that the statement after question mark get executed. If it is false, the statement after colon get executed. So most of this operator and its symbolic representation are self-explanatory, and we don't really need an examples of this. So we will just go ahead and do a simple hands-on to have a look at this conditional operators. Thank you.